Joe! Joe の野郎。鬼姫が完全にぶっ潰しやがって。
Oh my god. Hello everyone, welcome to Joe Consumes Cinema. I'm your host, Protest Victory, and today we have Ashita no Joe, episode 30. Last episode was a great one. You know, I think the way things are going, we're either going to get, like, the next 72 hours of Joe and Nishi training to take this very hard, B-class pro license exam to become, official pro boxers. Dangpei is, beside himself, talking about how, this former Japanese gold medalist who, like, silvered or whatever in the Olympics had, like, such a hard time with this test. And because Joe has garnished all this attention and spotlight, if they fail, they're basically, going to be ridiculed, and that's going to be the end of them. So this is going to be a really difficult 3 days of them training, but I'm confident, given the fact that they have to succeed, they're going to succeed. It's just going to be hell for the two of them. Joe just consistently underestimates things about boxing, just saying, oh, don't worry, it'll work out. And so far it has, but at the same time, it's a really arrogant attitude, and it's very, Joe, but at some point he needs to grow up and mature and stop underestimating boxing, because in the long term, it will get him into trouble. Like I said, he's gotten away with it so far, but, there's a limit and a point where you can't do that forever. But yeah, I'm really eager to get to this one, but before we begin, as always, remember to blank, blank, and blank. Still very much a small channel, so every like, comment, share, subscribe that we can get really helps out. Really appreciate it. Patreon link down below. If you could sign up even as a free member on the Patreon, you'd be doing me a real solid. I really appreciate it. With that, let's get right to it. Sando Bagnika Omega Ake Tatake 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 Ashite wa Kitto nani ka aru Ashite wa dochi da.
俺もプロボクサーになったような気持ちだぜ。バカ、それはお前らがこの試験に受かってからのことだ。
There's a written exam and then an actual spar to determine your ability. Nishi is scared to death. He knows Joe has, rushed into this, and he's gotten him mixed up too. The ordeal of the protest.
やっほー、いるいるいるいるいる。おっす、チェス。よし、はい、やって。矢吹君、張り切ってますね。おー、稲垣じゃねえか。お前来てたんか。
Inagaki, not Managaki.
この間のスパーリングの様子じゃちょっと考えた方がいいと思うがね。プロの道は厳しいぜ。
このテストの目的は健康管理にある。ボクシングは一面非常に危険度の高いスポーツであるから。
筆記試験。
Yeah, there's a written part of the test before they get to the spar.
そんな話がおかしいや。検討のテストの殴りっこだけで十分じゃないか。
この一枚取って向こうへ回して。
気にすんな気にすんな。ま、お前の隣で安心したぜ。よろしく頼ますぜ。
Oh god, do not try and sneak answers from him.
ボクシングの反則を3つあげろいう問題。あれどない書いた？
まず噛みつくだろ。蹴飛ばす。そしてくすぐる。
なるほど、くすぐるに。何？お前ほんまにそんなこと書いたんか？
なんだよ、どうしたんだよ。
その問題の答えはベルトより下を打つローブロー。俗に頭突き言うてるヘッド。
Yeah, the headbutting.
相手の腕を抱え込むホールド。
くそ、くだらねえ間違いやった。
ほんならその次の問題の正しい防御法を3つあげろいうやつはどないに書いたんや？
ああ、そいつなら任しとけ。3つも必要なし。ボクシングの防御はたった1つあるのみ。1つ？
Oh god, he got a bunch of these wrong. He's gonna have to crush the actual spar in order to get a passing grade. I'm guessing he's gonna have to knock out whoever he's facing basically to win.
3番目の問題こそ正解なんだから。1ラウンドに何回ダウンすると KO 巻きかってやつよ。
It's 3.
ダウンなんざ何回ダウンしようが構わねえ。とにかくレフリーが。
No. Oh, for God's sakes. His fight had special rules against Rikishi where, that infinite knockdown rule. You get knocked down 3 times in the same round, that's it. That's a TKO.
その生まれつきの闘争本能がそないな間違いを書かしたんや。あいつらそない思うのも無理のない話や。だいちお前は今までそんなルールを無視して試合をしてきよったしな。少年における対力士戦の時のように 1ラウンドに何度
Yeah, it was the Rikishi fight that threw him off because Dangpei needed to give him that infinite knockdown rule. Otherwise, there was no way he was going to be able to land that punch that, knocked Rikishi out.
お前の今までやってきたボクシングなんちゅうものはがむしゃらのめちゃくちゃ自己流ボクシングだったんや。
なに2つや3つ問題間違ったってどってことあるげ。
問題は3つしかなかったんやないか。
Okay, so he failed the fucking exam part of it.
ゼッケン26番と27番下の事務室まで至急来てください。
わいはやっぱり言われる通り B 級受けるのやめときました。
27番は C 級に変更と。
この間の新人王に決まったフェザー級の力石徹、バンタム級のウルフ金串。
するとこの間新聞に出とった辻切りボクサーっていうのはお前のことか。
よう知ってたの。嬉しいね。オッケーオッケー、こっちはどんとこいだい。あいとほら行け、負けるなよ。
Come on, Nishi.
ほら撃つんだ。何のためにグローブはめてんだバカ。西
いい加減で静かにしたまえ矢吹君。ほら君の友達はまだ一発もパンチを食らっとらんじゃないか。よく見たまえ。相手のパンチを硬いガードでがっちり守ってうまくかわしてるぜ。彼は今相手の出方を見てるんだよ。何も分かってないんだな君は。
そうごちゃごちゃごちゃごちゃうるせえなこの野郎。
Nice.
いいぞいいぞ西、そうだやっちゃえほら。
Nice.
よしよいぞ、そっとした腕でほら食っちゃえ。やってろそうだ。人をやきもきさせやがってよ。
どうやった？どうやら判定勝ちの線ぐらいは言ったやろ。
なかなかやるじゃんか西。これでお前の合格は間違いなしだぜ。はーい、俺だ俺だ俺だ。26番は俺だ。
そして14番というのはこの僕のことだ。
Oh, great.
あいつ国体で優勝いうやつやろ。
そのただものじゃねえやと一発でぶっ飛ばしゃ合格間違いなしってやる。
He's doing the same mistakes. He's getting destroyed here.
ストップストップ。おいしっかりしやしろ。大丈夫か？もうあかん、やめとき。
冗談じゃないぜまったく。何寝言並べてんだい。しょうがねえから一発奥の手を見せてやるか。
Is he gonna try the right cross counter on this guy? Guard, maybe? Or no guard? Yeah, he's trying to goad him into charging him.
お殴りになってって言ってんだよあいつはよ。
あらやっちまえやっちまえ。
Here we go.
待っていたぜ。
This is dangerous. They're gonna stop it. Oh god. Oh my fucking god. Jesus. Are you... What the fuck? He's gonna get disqualified. Oh my god.
Yo, referee, どうしてカウントを取れ。
しっかりしていいな。お前偉いことしてしもうた。リンゴの外まで出て人を殴ったからに。
ああ。
He didn't even realize it. He was just so incensed.
やっちまったから荒いから。一体どないするつもりなんや。
どうするもこうするもやっちまったものはしょうがねえや。おい長木、勘弁な。
Oh god. Ashita o mezashite Kachiaga. Tate. 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 Tatsuna Joe! Okay, I took some time just to gather my thoughts. That was episode 30. It was a really good one, but man, did it have a crazy ending. So things start out, Joe, Nishi, and Dangpei are all going to, take that protest. Nishi, of course, is terrified. Dangpei is super nervous for the two of them. Joe is, super cocky. I know just from watching Hajime no Ippo that, the protest involves a written exam and then the actual spar. So I knew what they were going to do where, Joe gets into that room thinking, okay, we're about to do some actual boxing here. He's amped up for it. And then all of a sudden it's like an actual written paper exam. We find out that Joe screwed up literally all three questions. They were, basic beginner questions. What are the three fouls? What are the three ways to defend? I forget the other one, but Joe got, wrong answers to every single one. Joe has sort of been taught this really rough form of boxing, where during his fight with Rikishi, Dangpei set it up so he could have infinite knockdowns because he knew that was the only way to set up, the opportunity to land the right cross counter, which is what he needed to win the fight. But yeah, 3 knockdowns in a single round, that's a TKO. And Joe has no way of knowing that because he's never fought a fight where that rule was enforced. So yeah, he just has this really unique experience with boxing where he's been taught a form of it that this is not your typical experience for an upcoming boxer. They always start out learning the rules, and, it's a very strict, disciplined thing. That guy Inagaki, the high school boxing champion that Joe had that, sparring match with the previous episode, he showed up taking the test too. He actually ended up being Joe's sparring partner, and yeah, initially that first round is really rough for Joe. He's just exploiting all the weaknesses, the fact that Joe is just attacking, not defending. He's too aggressive. He's not taking his time. He's not setting things up. And yeah, it's just a very sloppy way to box, and this guy in that first round picks him apart. Luckily for Joe, though, he has a trump card, and that's honestly just his durability, and he can use that to, kind of bait his opponents into overcommitting, giving him the opportunity to land, really big haymakers and counters. Joe comes out the second round, hunched over, just like a sandbag, a dead target. And the guy, gets goaded by the crowd into just attacking. He thinks Joe's dead on his feet, basically. Goes at him, starts picking him apart. Throws a lead right uppercut that misses clean. And then he's stuck like this, where he's looking at Joe. And Joe has the perfect opportunity to, basically smash his face in. Starts, teeing off on him in the corner. And it's getting really violent and really bloody. And he literally knocks him out of the ring. It's a ring out. And if Joe had just stopped at that point, it would have been, a huge success story because he flunked the written exam completely, got every single, question wrong. But, a really strong performance in the ring can save you, I think. I think it's weighted in such a way that they care a lot more about the spar than the written part of it. So even if you flunk that, you got a shot if you, ace it and knock the spar out of the park. But yeah, he was doing really well. And if he just stopped up to that point, I think everything would have been fine, and he would have his, B-class license by now. But Joe, to get to that point where he's so beat up, he's just incensed and enraged, and he knocks him out of the ring, and then he runs at him, literally out of the ring, and chases him down. Literally hits him in the back of the head, which causes another down as he's, screaming for help. Joe is fucking crazy, but it was a cool moment, but at the same time, I think he's going to get disqualified and have to take this thing again. I don't see how he's going to pass, his first time out given the circumstances, but I don't know. Maybe something can be worked out, but I think he just failed his test in a really stupid way, but, classic Joe fashion, honestly. You see Joe's potential. All the guys are afraid of him. He's just crazy, but that savage side is a big part of why Dangpei was so, enamored by him. A really rough personality makes for a good boxer in the long run. You just need to teach them the rules and really beat this sense of discipline into them that they just don't have at this stage. But long term, a guy that rough, if shown the ropes properly, can be a real, prospect in the long run. But yeah, it was a really good episode. Crazy at times, but, that's basically what the show is. And yeah, I just look forward to the next one. I'm probably going to get to that right now. With that, as always, thanks for watching, and peace.